Hello, I'm Richard Echendia with Connexin Incorporated, and I'm going to show you how to prioritize using forced pair comparisons. So what are forced pair comparisons? Forced pair comparisons are a technique to let you take a list of potential priorities and rank them in order of importance or desirability. Why is this important? Well, most people can't take a list of 4, 5, 6, or more items and rank them. There's too many options, pros and cons associated with each item on the list to stack them all against each other simultaneously. Forced pair comparison gets around this by breaking a list into combinations of only 2 items and then asking the people to choose between one of the 2 items. This is great because it's very quick to perform forced pair comparisons. They require virtually no setup. If you've got your list, you're ready to perform your forced pair comparison. The other thing I like about forced pair comparisons is they work well at any level of an organization. I've done this exercise many times with senior executives, and I've also done this exercise many times with associates, rank and file employees of an organization, and it works just as well with both groups. Now, there are 3 tips to keep in mind, even though this is easy. Number 1, don't overthink it. You'll be showing lists of pairs and you'll want to encourage the people that are deciding just to go with your gut instinct. Look at the 2. You may have specific reasons you want to pick one or the other, and those are good. But in general, don't overthink it. Go with your gut. The second tip is that if you're working with a group of people, there may not be consensus on any 2 items, which is the most important. So be prepared for some discussion in a group setting along the way. And that's fine, that's valuable. Let them have the discussion, but you do want to encourage them to reach a conclusion and make a final decision before going on to the next pair of priorities. And lastly, focus on the 2 items that you're only deciding on at the moment. As you'll see in the process, you're totaling along the way, and people may get distracted or second guessing themselves along the way because they feel that it's a little bit lopsided. Don't allow that. Stay focused only on the 2 current options, and it does make sense at the very end. So we'll go through an example based on an ERP project I recently completed. It was a 4-year ERP conversion, and we were asking the sponsors of the program to select the most important priorities overall. Let's get into it. So here are the 5 potential priorities for that ERP project. Of course, your project's priorities could be different, but in this instance, we asked the leadership to rank these priorities in order of importance so we could structure the project appropriately. The potential priorities were 1, performing it overall at the lowest possible cost. 2, the shortest duration. 3, the highest possible quality for the project. And we had measured quality in terms of the quality of the converted data, the end user satisfaction of the system, etc. 4 could be the minimum negative disruption to the business during the conversion process. And option 5, because they were changing business processes along the way at a very large number of locations, did they want the highest process conformance, everyone to work the same way, across the organization. Forced pair comparisons take every item on a list and compare them against every other item on that list. And we're going to represent that in the table that's below. When you're doing this in the real world, you don't have to create the table. We're just going to use it to track this example. So we asked our sponsors in this ERP project, given a choice between the lowest possible cost and the fastest overall completion, which of those 2 was the most important? Because that was the first pair of options. We're comparing number 1 against number 2, and they picked fastest overall completion as the most important of that pair. So I'm going to put a tally mark there and mark that we've done this one. Now, instead of 1 to 2, I'm going to compare 1 against 3. So we asked them, given the choice between lowest cost and highest quality, which of those 2 options was most important, and they selected highest possible quality. Moving on, lowest choice against minimum disruption to the business. Which of those two is the most important? And they picked minimum disruption to the business. And then the last one for option 1, given the choice between lowest cost and highest process conformance, which of those two was the most important? And they picked highest process conformance. So I'll go through the rest of this and just let you know what they picked. Given a choice between 2 and 3, they picked 3. Given a choice between fastest completion and minimum disruption, they picked minimum disruption. A choice between fastest completion and highest conformance, they picked highest conformance. Now we move on to 3. Given a choice between the highest possible quality and the minimum disruption to the business, they picked highest quality. Highest quality versus highest conformance, they picked quality once again. And now the last option, given a choice between minimum disruption and highest process conformance, which of those two was the most important? And they picked minimum disruption. So now you tally up your tally marks. You say, okay, since highest quality got 4, that is the top priority for the program overall. Second, with 3 hash marks, is minimum disruption to the business. The third is highest process conformance. And then last, with only 1 hash mark, is the fastest overall completion. And there you go. You've got a list of your highest priorities and your lower priorities ranked and ready to go. What do you do if there's a tie? You'll take those items that are tied and do a forced ranking against those two. And you complete the process until all the ties have been resolved. So there you go. That's how to do prioritization using forced pairs. I hope you found it helpful and are able to use it in your future projects. If you have any questions or want additional examples, please feel free to reach out to us at the information that's shown below. I'll also put that down in the description of the video so you can click and contact us there. Thanks again. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope you have a really great day.